If you're buying a gift for a wildlife photographer, it can be a little bit confusing because there's so many makes and models of equipment. And if you're a wildlife photographer, it can be a challenge to tell people what you want because things are just so expensive. Well, in this video, I'm going to share some gift ideas for wildlife photographers. We're going to start off small here with a stocking stuffer. This little air blaster, I love to get the dust off of my lens, and I like to do that first. This would fit great in a stocking, and then follow it up with one of these. This is a lens pen, and I've been through so many of these things. They're excellent. I pretty much get one every year. My wife gets me one, and I absolutely love them. It's a really great pair to be able to blow the dust and different particles off of your lens and then wipe it clean with this lens pen. This is a great cheap gift for any photographer, any genre. I'll have links for all of these items down in the description, and I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you use the link, it won't cost you anything, and I will earn a small commission on any sales. While we're talking about stockings, a couple other ideas for you. Microfiber cloths are great. I keep a couple of them in my camera bag at all times. It's great for getting moisture off of a camera if it's raining or snowing or something like that. If you're in a dusty environment along a dirt road or something, it's nice to be able to dust that off. I also think that a small rig multi-tool would be an excellent gift to throw into a stocking. Again, not that expensive, and this comes in so handy whenever you're out in the field, you're dealing with tripods or other adapters. It's great to have something like this that you would be able to make adjustments in the field, because you always need something like this, and sometimes if it's not there, you're using a key or something else that isn't quite what you want, and you might strip a screw. Sticking with the stocking here, how about snacks? We're out shooting for hours at a time, and sometimes we forget to eat or drink. It's really nice to have a couple snacks in your bag or throw it in your vehicle. Whenever you're all done, you go back and you have something just to take the edge off really quick. So maybe recommend what you might like, or find out what a wildlife photographer in your life prefers, and throw a couple of those snacks into their package or into their stocking. So sticking with braving the elements, maybe just a little bit here, a camera cover. Now what I like to use are these cheap disposable camera covers. They're by Optech. I get one that will fit onto a long zoom lens, but they make smaller ones too, and I find these things to be really effective. I've tried to use with my 100 to 500 Canon RF zoom lens. I've tried to use the lens coat, and I just wasn't satisfied with how it felt. I didn't feel like I could move around a lot, and I feel like these cheaper plastic ones, they give a lot more. They're a little bit more flexible, and I've been really happy with them. They protected me out in some very rainy conditions, so I would recommend those. Another thing that I really do not leave home without are hot hands. I love hot hands. In fact, on Amazon you can get a big box of them, and we buy one of these every year, and we keep some in every vehicle. I have some in my camera bag, so I highly recommend it. My hands get really cold. Keep those in your hands, and it seems to warm your whole body whenever you're out in the elements. In this digital world that we're living in, something that we maybe don't think about so often are hard copy books. What I like to do each year is I use a photo printing service, and I make a book with all of my favorite images of the year. So if you like a certain service, maybe a gift card would be great, so that the wildlife photographer in your life would be able to create a book like that. And I have them going back several years, and it's really fun to look back at different encounters that I've had and images that I've made, and have that physical book. It's really nice to be able to take with you places and share with people, rather than all huddling around a phone, especially if you're with older people who are maybe have a difficulty seeing, or maybe just don't want to hold a phone and look at it. So a hard copy book is just something that's really nice to have, a nice memento of yourself for the year. I would also recommend for wildlife photographers, maybe finding one of their favorite photographers and getting a book, if there is a book available by that photographer. So one that I got one year that I really like is this book by Tom Mengelson of $3.99, the most famous grizzly bear that is from Grand Teton National Park. And he actually has an updated version of the book now. This is another great one, Journey with the Whitetail. Mark Raycroft has a series of books. He has one on whitetails, moose, caribou, and I think he has a couple others. And they're all available on Amazon, so you can take a look there. There's some other books that are really cool, like the Wildlife Photographer of the Year books would be really nice to be able to just thumb through, sit back and relax and not have that device in front of your face. There are a lot of services that offer so many different items that you can add your photograph to. So it would be really cool if you have a favorite shot to be able to have it on a mug. I have a mouse pad with some of my images on it that I use. There's just so many different options, blankets, the list goes on and on and on. So find one of those favorite images, make sure that it's cropped in a way that it would look right on the item that you're selecting to have it printed on. And that, I think, would be a wonderful, surprising gift for a wildlife photographer. Personally, the best accessory that I've purchased in the last few years has got to be my cotton carrier harness. I absolutely love it. My back gets sore just from lugging the camera and having a backpack on, and having a camera around your neck is not ideal. So the cotton carrier harness allows you to wear this harness and strap that camera to the front of you. You have it ready in an instant to pull off and use if there is some kind of encounter that you want to photograph. I really, really love that cotton carrier harness. And if you have a wildlife photographer in your life, or you are a wildlife photographer who shoots handheld a lot, I would highly recommend getting it. It's just great to be able to walk around and have it at the ready without holding onto that camera and getting tired before the shot actually comes. So another gift idea, this lens coat hide. So this item I purchased and I haven't actually used yet. As you see, it's still pristine in the package. It's not for sale. I do want to use this here eventually, just haven't had the opportunity yet. So what it is it's a hide. It's something that you completely put over your body. There's a hole for your camera to look out, and there's like a mesh area for you to be able to look out and to be able to breathe while you're under it. And it's a great way to conceal yourself out in the wild and be able to photograph without being noticed by your subject. Another maybe cheaper gift that I would recommend that I use all the time personally is this little clamp. So I like to use this out in the field. I can clamp it onto a branch or onto a railing or something like that. I put my action cam up here and I'm able to record video of myself as I'm shooting images of wildlife. You can also put an attachment on this for your cell phone, so you'll be able to record using your cell phone as well if you don't have an action cam. A shot bag is an excellent gift, and again, something that I use quite often whenever I'm photographing from my car or truck, or even taking it into the wild to put my equipment down on the ground. So what it is it's a bean bag. The one that I use is a Grizzly brand bean bag, and you can fill it with buckwheat hulls, or there's a lot of different things that you can put into it. I keep mine in the vehicles all the time. This may not seem very fun, but it would definitely be much appreciated. You can never have too many batteries. So if you can find out the make and model of the camera that the wildlife photographer is using, they will always appreciate batteries. I'm always buying batteries. They're not cheap, and that's just something you can never have enough of. The final gift idea that I have for you are winter gloves. Now, I have a pair that I use that I bought years and years ago, I think just at Walmart, and they're really like a mitten where it's going to flip up and then my fingers are exposed, and I like that because then I'm able to touch the camera. And I'll leave a link for a comparable pair of gloves in the description down below. But there's another pair that I just have not pulled the trigger on yet that are just absolutely fantastic looking, and that is the Heat Company gloves. They are recommended for wildlife photographers. They just look like they would keep your fingers nice and toasty and still give you the dexterity and the functionality that you would need to be able to use your equipment while wearing them. It gets cold out there. You know, depending on where you're at and what you're shooting, sometimes you're out there for an extended period of time and you really do need to protect against the elements. So talking about those kinds of things beyond the gloves, you know, any kind of hat or boots or something like that would be greatly appreciated by the wildlife photographer in your life. Do you have any other ideas that would be great for a wildlife photographer gift? Leave them down in the description below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.